Mouse is on day 25, and no signs of stopping.
Just got a 15-hour injection as well.
Yeah, just got a 15-hour injection. She lowered her seconds to 10 seconds last night, and then bumped it back up to 15. Now, I haven't been listening to the stream, so I have no idea why, but I just thought that was weird. Maybe they're going for the 32-day, so she can actually get in the top 10 of subathons. But there's also another VTuber that's already at day 29, so she might have to go a little bit longer to actually hold a spot. But that's pretty nice. So I said last week I wasn't buying Elden Ring.
Yeah, you did.
And then Ralph's review came out. And then
really, his review is what sold you.
Yeah, man, it was like the way he showed it. Like honestly, obviously, all the words he said to sell me were, "This is the most approachable FromSoft video game ever."
Yeah, that's fair.
And I was like, yeah, I guess I bought it immediately, and yeah, we'll get that into that a little bit later. But as for what I played this week, it's unfortunate that I did buy Elden Ring because I barely had any time to play any Horizon. I played the couple days before Elden Ring came out. Man, I played the Babylon's Fall demo. Nothing's changed.
I'm sorry.
It's still just as bad as it was. This game. Dollet, you'll know this week when you actually start playing the demo.
I can give some like cursory observations, but yeah, I haven't put much time into it.
It's it's ugly. The gameplay's horrible. There are moments where, like, so I queued up. So when you walked away earlier, I went ahead and queued up for a mission, and that mission I didn't get anybody to join me. And if you're in queue for this mission for like any missions for an extended amount of time or whatever, it'll just automatically throw you into it. So you have to do it solo. All right. This game is not geared for solo playing. All right. Things have way too much health. All right. Like I got through the mission. All right. But it took me like pretty much the same amount of time it would take me to go through a trust dungeon in 14. All right. It took forever. And since this is a demo, this game is already about to ship this week, so it's not that's not going to change unless 12 million people are playing it complain about it. There's a battle pass there. You can already do the battle pass because what you're playing as in demo. You can carry that over to the main game.
Yeah, they had us logged directly into our our Square Enix account.
Yep.
So that was really weird for a demo, I thought, but fair enough.
Yeah, and it's because everything's connected. You can just carry it over.
I'm curious if this is like a demo, if this is just like the game, but like...
It's like early access, I guess.
Yeah, it does kind of feel like that, because you said something that threw me off. You said, like, there's more? When does this... Like, the one thing I will give it so far is that there doesn't seem to be a lack of early content.
No, it's like... So, you're trying to go up the tower, all right? Because that's what this game's about. It's about the tower the tower in Babylon, and you're going through it, and you're getting shit, and you're going up against these. I forget what they're called. They're like called the Galu or something like that. And this is like set in some weird futuristic era of Babylon, all right? Because there's technology. You the shit that's strapped to your back, the Sentinel stuff that's strapped to your back or whatever. That's controlled by technology and some weird fuck. I don't know. I barely paid attention to the story because I was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
So
Um,
cursory glance at the game, because I did skip all the cutscenes trying to get through the tutorial in order to do a couple runs with you. Alas, immediately got pulled away. But from what I did play, the combat's not actually as bad as I was expecting. I wouldn't call it good, and because it was a tutorial, it was hardly fleshed out. But square light, triangle heavy, R2 and L2 for special attacks. Sure, that's fine. That's cool. Um, Graphically, that game's kind of a mess. I don't think I have a problem with the backgrounds, with like the setting. I think most of that's pretty all right in the first area. I don't think I have an issue with the actual body sculpting of the model. However, everything you put on top of that model is absolutely horrendous. The hair is
under
terrible. The lighting on the hair is terrible. The lighting on the character on the body is absolutely horrendous. And I just, it just ended up looking really, really bad. And then, of course, eventually you get armor and helmets, and maybe you can hide. You think you can hide those glaring issues, except no, the textures on the garments look unfinished,
mm-hmm.
and everything kind of like this game looks muddy and in a state of like polished beta, semi-polished beta.
Yep.
Like this game really does feel like we're not going to be getting it for another year, maybe. Like this is the first beta they put out. They want to
Comes
hear
out
our
March 3rd.
opinions. Exactly,
So
and that's the big issue. Is if you told me this game is coming out in a year, this is them wanting to get feedback so that they can figure out what they really want to put time and effort into polishing. And no, it launches in a couple of days.
mm-hmm.
Or days, or is it when?
It's a couple days because
March.
today's the
March
today's
3rd,
the
right?
last day of February. Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is crazy to me. Like I don't know. I'll have to play more to figure out if maybe the gameplay's worth doing.
I'm gonna tell you, it's not.
But yeah, I don't think it's going to be.
Like if this
This
played like any other platinum game or whatever, I'd be a little bit alright with it. All right. If this is like a multiplayer near automata, I'd be like, yeah, all right, I can deal with this. It's a live service game, but who cares? Whatever. Um, no, I wish the gameplay was as fluid as that. It's clunky. The gameplay is very clunky. Um, your character's not really mobile at all or whatever. Um,
See, I'm not entirely sure that's accurate because I found in combat that dodging like this they want you to dodge. Like this is going to be
yeah,
a
they want
not
you to do the
strict but
the patented they
focus
want you to
game.
do the patented platinum uh dodge right at the last moment and get
Yeah, and I
that
feel that
slowdown.
does really speed up combat because it lets you stay on top of them. It's why I said that I don't think that the gameplay's bad. I just think it's at the moment very limited. I do want to be able to put some amount of time into figuring out if that's going to be worthwhile.
Uh
I don't know, like really. It does feel like this game shouldn't be being released in a couple of days yet, and I know that's a lot after coming off the tutorial in the first level, but uh, I've played betas that felt more complete than this demo, and that puts me in a bad place as far as
Hmm.
confidence goes.
Yeah, that's
mhm.
not bad. You said it was out in a few days?
Third,
Yeah,
I believe.
March 3rd. Yeah,
Oh,
March 3rd.
whoa.
Yeah. Um so Lake, you weren't in there when we were talking about it cuz we were going through like armor sets or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um I let everybody know that yeah, the 14 dev team allowed them to take assets from 14 to as
Absolutely blew my mind.
have them as armor models in the game. And
Really?
I had a couple of pieces of gear. I had the Alamigan, the thing that Minago wears. or whatever.
Yeah.
That chest piece. That was one of the chest pieces I had. I had an Asgardian helmet. I had some like warrior-esque style like hands, like gauntlets.
Huh.
They're literally the exact same models, because like I guess Platinum or whatever didn't have enough time to make their own gear. They were just like, hey, can we take some of your guys' gear models or whatever?
I mean, and to be fair,
it's like a sibling rifling through your bloody
kind of. Except that, like, they're stealing clothes that are a couple of years old and they haven't touched them up. Like the textures still look weird. Again, the models look great, and in this particular case, it's because we know them. We know what they look like. We know how good they should look. And somehow we see it here, and it's like, why are you still so muddy and low res and wrong?
Yeah, it's so bad looking. I mean, some of the pieces are like very shiny or whatever. Some of them look they look okay, but like it's, I don't know. When I'm playing, I don't have any fun playing that game at all. It's I don't feel like the gameplay is actually very responsive. I don't know. So you know how when you're playing like Devil May Cry or whatever, all right, and you can you jump, you're Nero, you jump in the air and you like do some slashes, but you're like staying up in the air because you're doing the slashes or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that in
that you can
like juggle enemies.
Yeah,
and you can juggle enemies and everything, but the character feels like it's like just floating up there. All right, it's not like Nero, like when he knocks somebody up in there, it feels like there's like power behind it or whatever. Your character just feels like it just jumped up into the air.
Oh, I will give you that. Yeah, in general, Impact lacks impact.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel very weighty, which is strange because there's this weird constantly on feedback on the triggers.
Yeah.
And that because like there's nothing on the screen to like visualize the way, like the meaty chunky impacts, it's nothing. It's just like a detriment at this point.
Yeah, and I'm just like, because I like during the tutorial I jumped up in the air a couple of times and I was like why does it feel like my character's just like it's if like when I jump up in the air there's like a level of ground that's in the air that your character like stands on while they're in the air, and it just feels like I'm just jumping up from one platform to another and for like 5 seconds and then dropping back down.
I wonder if that'll be augmented with things like Devil May Cry's like not air hike, but enemy step that'll allow you to do more interesting things.
I'm not sure. I don't know what else is in this game.
I think they made a mistake. I think that they have chosen to go the route of essentially give them the beginning of the game, let them transfer over everything, which is great in an established series where people already know what to expect. I think for this game, the demo needed to be, this is a vertical slice later in the game that gives you access to an array of weapons, of abilities, and of enemy types, and really let us see what the game will have on offer, because the beginning of the game doesn't feel like it's going to be it. And from what I've seen of videos from other content creators, I don't even know about like the storytelling and the cutscenes and the progression.
Yeah,
it's looking real rough.
You just make a Godfall Challenger edition, where you just throw you in at the end of the game for like a little bit, and then here's your demo.
Yeah, I guess that would have been Yeah, I guess that would have been fine actually. I think if you saw say like skip the tutorial on that, but yeah, I don't think this was a good way to sell anyone on this game.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since this is shown to be a platinum Square title, so people are expecting a good-looking game with fluid and impactful combat, and that is not what's on offer.
No, this doesn't feel like it has any budget in it at all.
I mean, look, if you make a video game, there's some budget, right?
Well, yeah,
But yeah, this feels like budget was squandered, and they were panicking to get
it's
it
like a
out the
B
door
tier
to
game.
make.
It's not
Well,
even like A. It's like a B tier game, is what I feel it is.
I feel like if this game came out for $40, people would be like, "Oh, okay, so this is like a smaller test run." But because it's a live service game, by the way, let's all remember this is a live service game.
Mm-hmm.
What this ends up feeling like is we screwed up during dev. The game still works, so we're going to ship it and recoup losses, and then try to salvage it. But I don't know if that's the truth. It just is what it feels like from all the evidence I've been able to find.
Yeah. Hey, so here's what I don't understand. All right. Obviously, there are some. I guess I wouldn't say inspiration, but obviously they took some like ideas from some of their other games. All right. You have the whole idea of like your weapons floating on your back. All right. Like you do in Nier. All right.
Sure.
Why couldn't they just have made the gameplay be like Nier?
That is the question, isn't it?
They're literally the same company. They could have
Yeah,
just done it.
so it's literally the same partnership, right? So presumably, this is a very specific choice. And I think also the weapons on your back that goes towards the R2 L2 special gameplay. So
Yeah.
like
Well, I mean,
they have
it keeps your square and triangle weapon on your back too. You have all 4 weapons on your back.
yeah, what how do I explain this? We have 4 attack buttons, so 4 weapons on the back.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, using all 4 of those buttons is really, really rough on me mentally. It's like, fuck, right?
Yeah.
Square and triangle. Oh, I also have to be using R2 and L2. Like, yes, I have access to all the buttons easy enough. It's just a weird setup for attacking. It's something that's going to be it's something that's going to take time to get used to, and after a dozen hours, maybe it won't feel so weird, but it feels weird. It feels real weird.
And you can set up different weapons for you. So what I don't understand is why separate heavy and the heavy and light attack. Why be able to separate that with different weapons? Why
Movesets.
why like so
Movesets and like
very jarring.
not status. Movesets and weapon types, because weapon types might do more damage to a certain creature.
Yeah,
so having it on heavy means maybe when you've worn it down, boom, big heavy attacks with that weapon type instead. An assumption again.
It's just very jarring to like, because when I was playing, I was playing. I had a sword as my light attack, all right, but I had a bow on my heavy attack, all right. But I spammed the bow most of the time. Because I feel like range, and by range I just mean bow, because I've played with the staff, because there's a staff in the game too. That doesn't feel good at all. The bow was honestly the only like thing that felt okay, and that's because I got to stand away from everything and shoot it. I didn't have to go in. I didn't have to go melee range with anything, because nothing staggers, and you can. I did find this like weird thing even with any enemy that I fought or whatever, as like with a regular sword or whatever. If I like jumped in the air and slammed down with my heavy, it automatically knocked it down on the ground, no matter what it was. I don't know about like a super like an actual boss, but like any tier of enemy, I could just knock it down on the ground with the jump triangle down attack, and I was just like, it feels a little bad for like. I mean, I'm all for staggering enemies, but like, I mean, that's just like cheesy. I don't know. It's like very jarring going from like attacking with the sword and then like when you hit triangle it like turns into a bow. If like you can do a combo correctly with it.
Sure.
I
want to see
Suni.
I want to see Suni Legend on this game though.
Oh yeah, please make this game look 12 times better than what it is.
Impress me. Maybe I'll give it another go. I mean, I still plan on giving it another go, but still, I want to see someone who is good at video games.
Yeah. As for that's I mean we played Elden Ring, but we'll be talking about that a little bit later. Would you two play?
Well, mine is short because, as I said last week, I've got I had loads of deadlines to finish up, and I did finish it! Hooray!
Awesome!
And the line's dead.
This
line's
week,
dead, boys.
And then then my sub ran out while that was happening, so I need to actually resub to 14 before I could play it. Whoops!
Oh, no.
Understandable.
I found that out yesterday. So yeah, instead of playing 14, I actually played something surprising that you'd never guess.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Master.
Well, I'm going to try.
No, not Yu-Gi-Oh!
I'm going to try. I'm going to say, what is something that she will have played that we wouldn't guess? Is it relevant to this week? Was it Temtem?
Nope, it wasn't.
Wait. Was it finally Tales of Berseria?
Nope.
I love the snort beforehand. Wonderful. Did you also pick up Elden Ring?
Oh god, I wish. No.
No,
I played Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Oh wow, okay.
The MMO, yeah.
Yeah.
I
like that MMO.
Yeah, it's free on Steam. So I did a bit of that. I was coaxed on saying, yeah, we're just gonna mess about with this. I was like, okay, I'll join you.
So I never put like any real amount of time into that game, and you two seem to have. Well, you're doing so now, and Aqua, it sounds like you maybe did. Tell me about it. I got the level
50. I got the level 50 in that game.
Is that cap?
That was originally cap. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I only started playing it yesterday, so I'm still below 10. But yeah, I was asked to be a Sith because everyone else is going to be a Sith. Honestly, I usually go light side.
Honestly,
so I was like, I actually named myself Evil Leak, so beware.
Evil Leak. Oh no. The leek's a little red around the edges.
A little red.
I went bounty hunter though, so lots of pew pew. I got a fucking flamethrower. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That AoE fire damage. Let's go.
Honestly, I have to get used to the UI. That's a bit everything, but
yeah, it is.
You can customize it though, which is good.
Yeah. You can God, the Dark Side storyline is actually so good. It's legitimately if you ever like decide to like do a Jedi or like a lightsaber run of anything in that game, do the Sith Inquisitor. The Sith Inquisitor storyline is legitimately some of the best storytelling in like Star Wars.
Oh,
yeah, it's so good.
Okay, I am going to put out KOTOR's 1 and 2 exist. Is that still a true statement?
I said one of the best. I didn't say the best.
Okay, no, that's fair. I misheard you. Fair enough then.
No. KOTOR 1's still the best.
Okay. No, I just wanted to put it up against it, get some gauge, see how we were doing.
Yeah, I just met the hut on the planet. One of the huts.
Ooh, the huts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, they're pretty much the same throughout the whole galaxy, apparently.
How do you enhance upon perfection?
Oh boy, yeah. I know Pizza the Hut was pretty good.
Pizza the Hut was pretty good. God bless Spaceballs.
Yeah, so just go through this. I actually quite like the dialogue; hasn't been too bad, and they've upped the graphics, haven't they? Since it first came out, you can tell.
This is one of the only MMOs out there that is actually fully voice acted. Like legitimately, every line in that game is voice acted. Unfortunately, to the detriment of the starting gameplay for this game, because
it's a bit rough, is it?
Well, no, it was to the detriment of like when the game first came out. They put all the budget into having every single line voiced in that game. That a lot of stuff got pushed to the side for the because there was no end game when the game started.
I see. So they were really hoping just that the strength of the
Story.
standard mode, the standard single player type of stuff would carry until they could get round to doing MMO things.
Yeah.
Well, for what I hear now, it's very good.
Yeah. There's multi-choice as well. So how many freaking lines they have to record?
Yeah. It's a lot, and that like I said, most of the stories for SWTOR is actually really good, and I would sit there and play SWTOR if I didn't have the disease of needing to play every other video game as well.
Yeah.
Because it's also long. It's a very long story, and they just keep adding upon it. Like there's still expansions coming out for that game.
Oh, sweet.
So
yeah, this will be my. It feels like this is a good go-to while my sub is down. That kind of thing.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look forward to like weekly updates when League isn't in 14 mode.
Yo.
When is League ever in 14 mode?
I really want to be.
That's rude.
What about you, Dollet? It's everything just been Elden Ring, right?
Yeah, like literally even the silly little gacha games I play on the side, I have not logged into when I haven't been doing my dialogue work. It's just been Elden Ring. I didn't do anything in 14 this week. No Arc Knights. It was just how can I get all of the things in Elden Ring without doing any of the story. So yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about it in a bit, so I won't go into detail. But yeah, like that, it's been a long time since I really got into a Souls game. I really, really liked Dark Souls 1. I didn't care for what I saw of 2. I was busy during 3. And Bloodborne, whilst I have it and I like it, I don't have the same affection for it as I do for Dark Souls 1. So, like, this is the first time since DS1 that I've been like, oh no. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm going to be here for a bit.
Yeah, I definitely know that feeling. Well, we don't have a question for Little this week. Even though he messaged something.
Is he playing Elden Ring?
Let's be real, probably.
Is that why?
and Little, I don't blame you. It's like that, yeah.
He might be playing Elden Ring. He did send me a picture of Elden Ring. He was like $50 at Walmart, and I was like, nice. And he was like, and my Reen statue just got home, so.
Hey.
So yeah, I guess he might be playing Elden Ring.
Nope, all is forgiven. We understand. Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
We'll quickly go through these news points because there's not many of them. And then we can talk about Eldino Ringo. So again, Nintendo likes to give and take sometimes, and this is a taken week.
It's a bit of both.
Yeah. Evo will not have Smash Brothers and other Nintendo games because Nintendo doesn't want them there. Because Nintendo just doesn't want their stuff at places, I guess. Yeah, it's a rough thing. So this is hardly the first time that the fighting game community and Smash, specifically Nintendo, but even more specifically Smash Brothers, have butt heads. We saw this 2 years ago, last year. What even is time? With tournaments being wholesale shut down because Nintendo did not like that. And whereas there are aspects of this that I understand in general, this particular one kind of confuses me. Now, I understand Nintendo is very much consistently living in the present to the near future. They refuse to live at all in the past. They do not enjoy
anything that they've ever made. They enjoy what they are making or will make. I don't know why they have this mindset, but they do. They're all about the present. So, the most popular Smash game in terms of competition is Melee. It is, according to the people that play it, the most balanced, the highest skill ceiling, and just the one that they have settled on. And for a game that old to still be hyper relevant like this is kind of impressive. Nintendo didn't like that. And you know what? There have been Smash Brother games that come out since, so I kind of get where they're coming from. They want you to play the new stuff. We see this in a lot of communities. Let's not get into it, but there are a lot of communities that deal with Nintendo where Nintendo asks, please play what we are making now. Fine. This is a case of them wholesale denying any access. And specifically when it comes to the competitive scene and Nintendo, we know that Nintendo does not like it. Sakurai has been very open about saying, look, I've made this game. It is a fighting game. It's innately competitive. But if you want to play a fighting game competitively, go play Virtua Fighter, go play Tekken, go play Street Fighter. Don't play Smash, despite Smash actually being excellent for scorekeeping in fighting games.
Yeah.
So with no new Smash game on the horizon, with this current Smash being wrapped up in the last 3-4 months now, I think it was the last DLC, it does feel passing strange that no Smash Brothers, not even the most recent, will be making an appearance at EVO. To my mind, EVO is a great way to get people that are interested in this very niche genre, fighting games, to play other games. Like, gone are the days of Street Fighter, Marvel, and nothing else. Now there's any number of games that can be seen and can be picked up and enjoyed. This is a chance to get people to buy into the Smash platform and to get all that juicy DLC. And Nintendo wants no part of it. And there is a chance that this is coming from a really spiteful place. I have no evidence for this. This is just a thought that I think Maximilian put in my head that I am inclined to agree with. Mm-hmm. There's a small chance that this is because EVO is officially backed by Sony.
Yep.
And whereas before Nintendo begrudgingly let their games be played out on this grassroots tournament scene, now that it's essentially like a Sony partner, or it is a Sony partner, they see it as competition. I would very much like it to not be so petty, but there's every chance that it is. So, please join them March 8th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at twitch.tv/EVO for the EVO 2022 announcement show. But do not expect Smash Bros. To be there.
Unfortunate, because I mean, the Smash community, as much as everybody memes on them, they're a big community, and it's one of the most popular fighting games out there.
It's grown a lot as the fighting game community has grown. Obviously, every smaller section of it has grown too, and everyone can talk about Street Fighter, and Tekken and Soul Calibur and all these other games. The most popular fighting game on the planet is Super Smash Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really hope it's not as petty as because Sony owns it, but I wouldn't put it past Nintendo. That's very on brand for them. They are not a play nice with others type of people.
It's unfortunate.
Yep. Well, I mean, I guess you were right. Nintendo did give us some stuff this week. So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet got announced for later this year. This is a new. It was 9th gen. This is 9th gen Pokemon.
Yeah. Was it out of nowhere? Because it felt like out of nowhere. Because the open world one just released. So.
Yeah, Arceus just released, and there's
just released.
Here's a new one, guys. Let's come out at the end of this year. How many people do they have over at Game Freak? How many teams?
They must,
this is a big question.
They must have multiple, surely. I mean, like, is it because I heard that Scarlet and Violet is also open world?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Maybe it's using the same engine and stuff then.
So yeah, I'm happy you've said it. This is my observation. So vámonos todos. Let's go to Spain. It does look like this is something that was probably being made not after but alongside Arceus.
Yeah.
It has a lot of, like, we saw Arceus at the beginning and it looked rough, and by the end it was more refined. It was still, to my eyes, still looks really rough, but and this kind of goes a bit further. They've had even more time to work on it through the launch of Arceus, through the bug fixing of that, and that they've probably been able to smooth over the rougher edges even more so. But I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think this is 100% going to be more open world. I think this is, obviously, we're seeing proper evolution of the systems put in place with Sword and Shield into Arceus and now into Scarlet and Violet. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit more freedom in this game, but that's yet to be seen. All we've seen now are bigger areas than usual and Pokemon still in the overworld.
Mm-hmm.
Yup.
Speaking of which, can we talk about how adorable those starters are?
Yep. The only thing I gotta say is because I love one particular one. I've seen so many good drawings of this particular duck one. Is it Quaxley?
Quaxley.
It's such a good name.
It is actually an excellent name. It's Sprigatito? Sprigatito, Fuecoco, and Quaxley.
Yeah, Quaxley.
And I love it.
I've seen them drawn as various other characters that look very similar.
Yes.
People danced on them. Seen them drawn as the Kingdom Hearts Donald Duck.
Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite though's got to be with people basically pouring him out of the toothpaste because
yes,
toothpaste tube. His hair looks like toothpaste.
It was blue,
so
minty
good.
green, and then the crest red, white, and blue.
Now, the little crocodile I have not memorized the other names. Fuecoco. Yeah, it's cute. I like the derpy face.
I love it. It looks like a little apple. It's so French.
Yeah. And Weed Cat.
Yes, Sprigatito has been mean to Helen back by now.
This worries me though, because if too many people associate this cat with weed, Nintendo's going to get worried because Japan is really strict on marijuana.
Yeah, and I think, well, first of all, that's a very valid worry, I think, because that is where everyone seemed to have gone to immediately. But also, there's the other half where it's super wholesome and really great artwork. People just seem to be really cozy with this one in particular. I think the biggest blowback to this I've seen are people drawing tape over his paw saying "all four stay on the floor, please."
Yeah,
for whatever reason, people do not want this one to become a biped.
Yeah,
which I mean, I guess I understand, but evolution, right?
Someone
I guess
said
that doesn't necessarily mean biped, but
yeah, someone said if this becomes a wrestler, I'll riot.
Oh no, tag team with not Torracat. What was the
that's no, not tag team. You know the internet's gonna do something.
I've already seen it. I'm trying to be family friendly about it.
Please no. Please no.
You know what you've seen? I've seen it too. I got a kick out of it.
Oh my god. There was no the Pokemon fans don't have any chill.
None whatsoever. Though the artists have been crazy quick. And we say this about everything that gets released, and hours later we have fully, perfectly rendered art of it. But I've been seeing incredible art come from this. I've also been seeing some real debased nonsense, but some incredible art nonetheless.
Are you okay, Aqua?
Yeah, I
You see you groaning in the background. No.
Yeah, I'm just when you said try to keep it wholesome here, I'm just please no, please.
Yeah, it would look. There's a lot of things we can talk of that are less family friendly. I would like it to not be this.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's move on though, because like the logos, I think you had something to say about those, and I want to
Goodness.
say something about the trailer as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, I'll happily get this all out of the way real early. I have seemingly eaten crow when it came to Arceus, and that game has done very well, and it seems people are very pleased with it. So, you know what? I'll take the L. I hope it's great. Maybe I'll give this one a chance because of it. But I'll tell you what doesn't give me confidence, and this is petty as hell. I will grant you this. But the font and the styling of the logos are really, really bad. I hate to use this meme, but it really does feel like that whole graphic design is my passion type of thing going
God.
on, where they've chosen two pretty distinct and very unique fonts, which are not an issue. I just wish they'd chosen the same one for each. And then they've outlined them in these horrendously thick yellow outlines. It's so awful. Please
Reminds
fix
me of Sonic.
that. Yeah, kind of, yeah.
It's Sonic.
And I realized
Yeah.
that the Pokemon logo is in and of itself like an outline. It's a blue outline
I
on
was
yellow
about to
words.
say it's just a Pokemon. It's just a Pokemon.
But this one's
Different
flat
font.
and fat and really, really bad.
See,
Like,
I don't.
this is fixable. This is 100% fixable.
Yeah.
I just hope they do it. Like maybe add some depth. Maybe change the color choice of the yellow. I don't know. I don't think yellow's. I mean, I know yellow and red are the Spanish flag colors, but purple's not. So clearly, that's not what you're going for. Can we like just make it look nice and presentable? Like this was the
Preferably
reveal. This is our
shade of
first.
red.
It's brilliant. I do love the names. I love the colors. I just don't love what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my like. Why is he complaining about this section? I'm so sorry that this is so petty, but it bothered the piss out of me.
Why are you so petty, Dollet?
I am
That's
an
so
incredibly
petty.
petty, and I have no problem being petty here where no one can argue with me except for you two.
Yeah, I need to. At some point in time, I guess I'll pick up Arceus so I can see how that actually plays, like mechanically. That way I'll know if I even want to attempt to play either of these two, because my biggest problem when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, they're using the names Scarlet and Violet, both are names and colors that I like, and I'm like, if I play Arceus and I enjoy, like I at least enjoy a bit of like Arceus to an extent or whatever, I might consider picking up these ones, because this is kind of like what I wanted Game Freak to do with Pokemon. I want it to finally evolve into something, as you said the other day, the game series that's literally about evolving animals is finally evolving into something different than what it was.
Yeah, it's been a big blow against them for years that every time they did something new, they would immediately step back and not do it again. So this continuing on from the last one seems like proper evolution. We're actually going forward instead of continuously starting over again.
Yeah. So I'll get Arceus. I'll see how that plays, because I've watched people play Arceus and it looks entertaining.
Yeah, it does. It's entertaining to watch, especially when they're fighting the alphas.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I've never cared for shiny hunting. I love watching people shiny hunt in this, probably because it doesn't take 17 hours.
Yeah. And there's like multiple different ways to like augment the percentage of like getting shinies or whatever. Because
Didn't know that. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, when you get the research level high and up, it gives you higher percentages of getting shinies.
I love that. I love that you're not just a trainer, that you're a researcher. Like getting a God, I sound like such a boomer. You're getting a real job. I think that's really cool. I think that's the right way. And even though we're going back to just being a trainer in Scarlet and Violet, I'm hoping that enough of the carryover will be there.
Yeah. So
my only confusion is with the trailer.
So go on, tell me about this, because I don't quite understand what you mean yet.
So yeah, essentially, I immediately thought Night at the Museum. I'm trying to connect the like theme of Spain to this particular trailer. Like it's an art museum. It looks like, I don't know if it's like the guard is guarding the portrait of the starters. I don't personally see, it must have gone over my head. Truly, if you know the answer to what the theme of the trailer is, really, I don't know. It's just like this live action dude just going, "Ooh, I'm gonna look through the hallway. What's that noise?" And then I'm gonna like look at this portrait and be mind blasted by Pokemon.
It's kind of weird though, because I feel like this is something that they could have used for Arceus because of the situation surrounding the main character. Whereas I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen in this game. There will be no being
Unless it's a
whisked off.
clue to like the next baddies. I don't know.
Oh, it could
Maybe.
be. I mean,
the
maybe.
heisting stuff. I don't know.
Could do. Don't know. I mean, now that you've said it, I definitely agree with you. I think that was a weird way to go about this. I would have expected this to be on a beach somewhere, or at least in somewhere in Spain, surrounded by all the historic buildings, and like putting like the old '90s commercials where they just put Pokemon in the real world against.
Yeah.
That's what I would have done for this one, but yeah, they chose a really weird one.
Or like, like there was particular windmills that were featured. Like someone pointed out, Don Quixote. Why don't you just, do something with him? That'd be cool. But
they probably
guess
will,
not.
to be honest.
I hope so.
Yeah,
No, that's a good
it'll
catch.
It'll be interesting, but I will. I'm just hoping this Pokemon ends up being good.
Sure. I mean, I've been
Not more
negative on
the same.
Pokemon for years, but who doesn't want this to succeed? This is nostalgic, if nothing else. We all want to like this. We're all 30 plus years old. We still want to be able to enjoy these games.
Yeah. And we'll go into our last small bit of news, which is just Pac-Man Museum Plus got announced for the everything, which
Waka
is
waka 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 waka
all
waka
systems.
waka.
So you get your array of Pac-Man games coming out this year. Well, I'm assuming. I mean, if you like Pac-Man, I enjoyed a little bit of Pac-Man in my day.
So there's been a couple of different styles of Pac-Man. Do you know which ones are going to be in this? Because I mean, we saw a 3D Pac-Man, so we know that's going to be more than just the OG side scroller.
It's 14 different Pac-Man games.
Oh, that's a lot of Pac-Man games.
I think it's just every Pac. So here we go. Pac-Man, Super Pac-Man, Pac-and-Pal, Pac-Land, Pac-Mania, Pac-Attack, Pac-in-Time, Pac-Man Arrangement, Arcade version, Pac-Man Arrangement, CS version, Pac-Man
Console.
Championship Edition, Pac-Motos, Pac-and-Roll Remix, Pac-Man Battle Royale, and Pac-Man 256.
The naming convention of Batman games must be stopped. It's too strong.
Yeah.
But hey, it's great to see classic preserved Nintendo.
You know what's not in there?
Go on then.
Pac-Man.
Miss Pac-Man? Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But that's all of our news this week. Actually, it's a very, very, very small news week, but that is because nobody wanted to, talk about anything this week other than Elden Ring.
Oh my goodness. If I've not been working, this has absorbed me. I stayed up till bloody sun came up. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. It was yeah, like I said, I wasn't planning on buying Elden Ring, but then Ralph's review came out of it, and I was like, man, fuck you for being an influencer, man. I was like, because you did it, you influenced me, and yeah, no, so I'm a person that doesn't play. Like I've played Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 3, a little bit of Bloodborne. I own Demon Souls. I'm not touching Dark Souls 2. I usually don't go through these games by myself. It's usually not something I tend to normally do. But I'm finding I've put like 25 hours into this game, and by myself actually, because like I'm not like telling Evan to come in and like fight bosses for me. I'm like going through fighting bosses on my own, doing all this shit, and that's actually very telling because I just never have the inclination to doing that, and it really does actually feel like the most approachable Soulsborne game to ever be created.
Yeah, I mean, hard agree. I also didn't plan on picking this up, but I got paid, and the skill up recommendation was strong. But what got
Mm-hmm.
me was I've been a part of Green Man Gaming for a couple of years now, and they were ever so kind as to send out a code, not just to me, I'm not special, to like everyone, that said, hey, would you like up to 24 to 25% off this game upon release? And my dumb lizard brain went, yeah, absolutely, I would. So, sorry, Sifu, I promise. This is the game that I will play by the end of the year. Last year we did this. It was East 9, I think,
Yeah.
for me. So this year I am playing Sifu. It will happen. Unfortunately, Elden Ring happened first. But yeah, no, honestly, my time with FromSoft games is it's probably not as tenured as a lot of other people. I did play the old Tenchu, I did play the old Armored Core games, and I played, but then I kind of fell off. I didn't play Demon Souls until much later. I actually started with Dark Souls 1. I skipped Dark Souls 2, didn't play Dark Souls 3, played Bloodborne, and went back and played Demon Souls. So like I'm familiar with it, and I can agree with Aqua when he says this is the most accessible Soulsborne game that they have released. It is wonderful.
It's a Soulsborne ring game now.
I guess I think this definitely has the ability to overtake one of those words.
Yeah. I don't. One of the things I said earlier was one of the big things that actually kind of pushes me towards actually exploring most of what Elden Ring has or whatever is that a lot of it's like good green, like it's not like dead and like dark and dank like
Sure.
like all the other fucking Soulsborne games have been. All right.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
Yeah, no, it's just like I don't know. It's just not. It's not as dark as Bloodborne, because Bloodborne is like, you know, old Victorian Gothic style or whatever. So everything looks the same there. It's not Dark Souls 1, which pretty much everything in Dark Souls 1 was like dark and dreary, except for Anne Orlando. Anne Orlando looked really cool. And then you fuck that up and make it all dark and dreary.
You don't have to, but yeah.
And I mean, Dark Souls 3 had a good mixture of stuff. Nothing was like green like grasslands and stuff like you know, like Limgrave is. But no, I mean, I'm having an extremely good time playing Dark Souls. And
yeah, I think I can elaborate a bit more on why you feel the way you feel. I think first and foremost, it comes down to the scales that we're playing in. This is obviously the biggest game in the franchise thus far, and the reason for that is twofold. A, it's an open world game, which is important to say, and it's important to make a distinction between an open world game and what Soulsborne games have been before. This is closer to Breath of the Wild than it is to a Final Fantasy game. A traditional Final Fantasy game, where there's the illusion of like choice and where you can go, when in reality, more or less, you're kind of on rails, point to point to point to point. Whereas this is a case of they want you to explore. This isn't just we want you to explore this area. They want you to explore everything.
Mm-hmm.
And to facilitate that, you get a bigger area. And like I said, this is a bigger world. This is the biggest world they've dealt with. This is multiple regions. This is multiple settings, and I split those for a reason. Whereas with Bloodborne, which I don't think it's bad. I think it is overall very dark, but I think that there's more there to spice it up than just the Victorian aspect. But it's got nothing compared to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
You're still on rails. You're going through the apartments, and then you get to the academy, then you get to the beach, the shore, then you get to whatever. That's fine. It's all dark. Like you were saying, there is this expanse of scenery. There's lush grasslands, there's tarnished lands, there's mountainous lands, there's a Anor Londo adjacent setting. Like there's a lot here that plays around with how you feel in certain areas. And it does.
Is that the capital, by the way?
Yes.
Okay. That's me.
And it does make you like the shift in ambience will make you think, oh, well, this is different. Like this is noticeably different. I wonder what's happening here. And so it gives a sense to the exploration, which I mean is such a joy.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine anyone who plays Dark Souls for the PvP is really angry about this game. Oh boy, because that is not a focus here.
Oh yeah, no. I think it's gonna be. I can't imagine the invading culture that's gonna happen in this game. Like,
it's still in its infancy.
Invade people. People are spread out throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, so it's funny you should mention that. I was seeing an argument, and it was unfortunately an argument, and it wasn't very civil, about Elden Ring's multiplayer aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I kind of came into the Soulsborne genre through speedrunning, so I don't care about the multiplayer. It's not my thing. I don't think that they're very good multiplayer games. I think the PvP is real jank anyway. I think that's an afterthought that the community has made more prominent than it maybe should be. But I do also acknowledge that when you've played through the game, when you've maybe gone through it a second time and you've kind of learned as much as you feel you're going to learn about it, PvP is a way to extend the game's lifetime, I guess. Yeah. And that's great. Like everyone should be able to play a game how they want to.
Lifespan's the word you're looking for.
Lifespan was the word I was looking for. Thank you. But I think the culture that has surrounded Dark Souls and the very vocal part of the community is very much focused on the invasion. All the get good bros, all the invading using like admittedly pretty sketch weaponry, and all the hacking and that goes on in that's this part. And the argument really came down to, well, Souls is a PvP game first. It's not true.
No,
but they said this and the reason why they were so mad in saying this is because invading is actually really, really hard, apparently. First of all, apparently. I know I can believe that for a couple of different reasons. As you've pointed out, the place is vast. It's just it's very big. And it's very open, so you don't have all of these interesting areas you can like set up a trap dead angle or get really creative with your nonsense. A lot of this area is open, and I imagine hosts can force you to fight them in the open on their terms.
Yeah.
So this is going to be great for people who don't want to go in for like an honest 1v1, just have fun and kind of, chimp out with that. but it's going to be really bad for people who go in there with like murderous intent to make someone feel bad, and they seem to be really angry about that. The other half of that is that the connection in this game has been perhaps not ideal.
I think it has to do with like a lot of people playing this game.
Yeah, we'll get to this in a little bit because I think we should talk about how this game is excellent and amazing, but not flaw free later.
Oh yeah.
But for right now, I will say that one of the big issues is the connection is absolutely awful. I got booted 3 or 4 times yesterday because Elden Ring needs you to be online at the start. It is not an online-only game. You can play offline, but it wants to start an online. And if you don't think to take yourself offline and you lose connection or they lose connection, you will be booted from it. And that kind of sucks. It also means this instability makes it really difficult to go forward with co-op or invasions. So currently, multiplayer is kind of rough and not in a great place. But that's subject to change, as you have said, as people fall off, they finish the game, or they finish as much as they're going to do, and the servers aren't so swamped with literally everyone in the world playing Elden Ring right now.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know if it's just like if it's like more of a PC thing, because the only time I ever got disconnected was literally like 20 minutes after you mentioned something about getting disconnected. That was my first time ever getting disconnected.
Oh, we'll get there. Apparently, the PC version is just scuffed in general, but
yeah, I mean it is a port, so you guys have to deal with your
I hate that
version
that's a
actually
bad
being a
word
port.
now.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, that word didn't actually mean anything.
No, it usually meant good things. I don't know, man. Like so, like I mean, you were saying earlier, like so many, like we were in a call with like 4 different people playing, and we literally have all done completely different things in this game.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, it's great.
It's ridiculous. There is so many different ways to play this game. It is mind-boggling. And I honestly I feel like From Software has got Game of the Year in the bag with this. I could not foresee anything else that's been announced this year to take it.
Is this like different builds, different routes? What?
Yes,
builds,
to all of it.
Everything,
the above.
Everything.
Yeah. But yeah, we can go into detail about that. So, Akko, what are you running, and like, what was your game plan until now?
So my game plan was to I never wanted to do a strength, like have a big sword and a lot of armor build. I've done that. I did that in Dark Souls 1, and I didn't do that in Dark Souls 3. I had a dual scythes in Dark Souls 3, or I had a scythe that had Frida scythe, so it turned into dual scythes. So I wanted to dual wield some type of weapon, but I started out as a wretch, because you start out at level 1, which means you get to put more stats into the stats that you want to use a lot earlier. But I am currently running 2 long swords. Both have the Ashes of War Bloodblade on them. And I've got like medium armor on, so I have to do medium rolls. I did have to fight a boss. I did have to take my clothes off to beat a boss the other night.
Ooh.
It was one of the Everjails. It was one of the Everjails where the fucking ghoul that had the ice blade that did the ice attacks.
Oh, the one in the southern portion. Yes.
Yeah. I had to make sure I had light roll for that, because some of those attacks were just annoying as shit. And I might actually have to do that for Crucible Knight, because I pretty much have the timing down on Crucible Knight. I think I just need a little extra frame space for some of his moves.
Or be me and parry him to death.
You know, I tried doing that actually. After you said something about parrying, I did swap to a parrying shield. I was able to get like two different like attack timings down with the parry, or whatever, but he's got so many different attacks. It's just like and obviously and parrying doesn't act like while parrying obviously gives you the visceral or whatever. As we were saying, the visceral doesn't actually do that much damage. So I would have to been sitting there and parrying him like for like fucking 10 minutes. And have to be actually good at parrying him for 10 minutes. You're going through this game with like a halberd and occasionally with a shield as well. So I haven't touched a shield like pretty much until that point.
Yeah, so I was already kind of used to it, though.
Familiar.
I'm not in love with most attacks that I can parry. The Crucible Knight and Margit were both pretty good for me, though.
Oh, that's another thing. Oh, actually, yeah. Well, that's another thing. Margit's been a contention point in this game. All right, a lot of people talk on Margit's technically the first story boss, and he doesn't feel like a first boss in the sense of comparing it to other Souls games. Because in other Souls games, so like in Dark Souls 1, you have Taurus Demon. Taurus Demon is technically the first story boss. You don't count the Asylum Demon because you all you do is fucking drop on him.
Sure.
So, Taurus Demon, very easy. All right. Dark Souls 3, you could talk about what Champion Gungnir. He's typically pretty easy to deal with, or you have what Vort of the Boreal Valley. I one shot Vort surprisingly.
I would say Udic Skandir is harder than Vort. I would agree with that. And Udic Skandir isn't very difficult.
And then you have let's see, in Bloodborne you have the Cleric Beast. The Cleric Beast is easy to beat.
I'm learning we take different paths in a lot of games.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about this is on a technical what people can really consider the first.
Sure, the most likely boss you're going to run into. Yes.
Yeah, because in Elden Ring, the first story boss, like technically that they want you to do, is Margit. All right.
I don't know if it's forced, but yeah, they very much do want that to be the first
story boss,
noticeable boss that you run into.
What they really want you to do is they want you to not touch the storyline for like fucking hours on end, get yourself overpowered, and then start the storyline. And
hi, yes, that is me.
I didn't have too much of a problem with Margit. I think I died 4 or 5 times against Margit, but in the end I got him like fairly painless or whatever. And I one shot Godric right after. So I wouldn't say it was over leveled. I would okay. Technically, I guess it was over leveled, but there's a lot of other things that you can take into effect. Like, I mean, both Margit and Roderick, you're able to have NPCs with you. Especially with Godric. Godric has the ability to pretty much have one of the most OP NPCs that I've run across. She has got a lot.
So you say I did not run into her, so fair enough.
She has a lot of health and she can tank the shit out of Godric. All right. You also can summon. You also have like summons that you can do too. A lot of people like to use the jellyfish. Jellyfish is an amazing summon.
Wolf crew. It's the wolf pack.
I see. I don't.
How does these work? Is this just to a particular class or any?
Nope.
No.
Anyone can summon these so long as you have enough mana. Yep. Alas, they can only be summoned in very specific areas.
Yeah. I like to use the jellyfish because the jellyfish can get pretty tanky, and the jellyfish also poisons.
Did not know this until yesterday night.
The jellyfish will poison a boss if it stays up long enough to continuously attack him. And that poison's actually very strong against bosses because I've seen people win because of the poison.
This actually feels like a pretty good place to divulge onto what I was doing in my build path. So if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to butt in real quick.
Oh, it's okay. I might have to walk away in a second anyway.
As Aqua correctly pointed out, I did go a quality build. Strength, Dex, Faith. I saw the Vagabond, the starting class that's a knight, essentially. Immediately grabbed it because it had a halberd. Grabbed that, immediately started, and promptly ignored all of the story. Not interested in the story, don't care. Big world, lots of collectibles, lots of secrets. That is what's interesting to me. So I did the story just long enough to get my horse, because I was not going to walk around this place. It's much too big. And I proceeded to ignore the story entirely. I know which way they wanted me to go, so logically I did the gamer move and went the other way. As it turns out, you do not need to beat any boss in order to open the entire map. There might be a section somewhere that is locked behind a boss, but like 40 hours in, I haven't found it yet. And I'm about to finish the map, so that's interesting. My build, like I said, was mostly strength-based with a bit of faith because I wanted to use the Tree Sentinel halberd. Tree Sentinel is that big first golden dude on a horse that you will not miss. He is literally in between you and the first bonfire upon freedom. So I had to get 30 strength for that. So needless to say, I didn't do the story. I went around finding all the various catacombs, all the various open world bosses, finding a lot of bonfires and the such so that I could really just embrace what was going on. And I did. I don't think I touched the main story until I was in my 50s.
Jesus, I'm not even that. I'm only 38.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am level 62 and I've beaten 2 lords now, but I was like level 61 when I had beaten my first lord. So
How is leveling and stat building and stuff? Is it like the
it's
Soulsborne
exactly like
games?
it's exactly like the others. The stats themselves are a bit different. They've been broken down a bit further than DS1, and I didn't play DS2 and 3, so I'm not sure what the breakdown is actually like in those games.
Dude, you should play.
I should. I watch them all the time. I just never pay attention to it.
You should play DS3.
I probably will. I was saying this to Psycho the other night. It's like, man, I kind of regret like dipping out of the Dark Souls side of things after DS1. So yeah, I'll probably pick up 3 at some point, whenever. It's not a priority. But yeah, no. So like I said, grabbed as many souls as I could find, killing all the open world bosses. I'm not going to spoil anything. They're all great. Matter of fact, there's only 2 bosses currently that I have less than ideal things to say about. One of the 2 bosses is because I am not very good at this game. The second boss is just because, oh boy, that's an encounter.
I haven't seen that boss yet, but
no, and it's why I'm not going to talk about it, because according to Steam, neither has like 90%, maybe 95% of the player base.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about that one, that subterranean area, right?
No, I'm not. That boss I wouldn't mind talking about because that feels more generic. Like I don't want to talk about the story bosses. I'm talking about the second lord that I faced. He was something else. I'm currently hung up on two gargoyles just because they have a lot of health, poison, and the camera isn't very good when it comes to enemies that are very, very tall and very, very fast. Tends to wig out and it screws up my my timings, but it's something that I'm going to get done in the next handful of pulls.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back to like the build was super simple. Like Aqua said, shield, big halberd, faith that lets me buff myself, and attack. I got through Margit on my second time. I got through Godric on my second time. No, I didn't see anyone to summon either time, so I just toughed it out with me and my wolves.
You're so it
Also,
was
I haven't
actually
upgraded
very
my wolves. I need to do that.
yeah, it was very easy to miss the NPC that you can summon for Godric, because if you didn't like fully explore the castle itself, there's a it's like pretty much right before you get to Godric or whatever. There's an area where this lady is like standing above a body or whatever, and she's like talking, and then you talk to her, and she talks about how blah 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 blah, spoiler spoiler spoiler.
Sure.
I will help you because because I'm sure they'll allow it, and then her sign pops up when you get up.
That's
to the door.
interesting. I met the character a little later on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not heartbroken about this. I thought I was pretty thorough in my investigation of the castle. I must have missed something, or very likely, I am not the most observant person in the world. It's entirely possible I walked right past her. I'm surprised I didn't kill her. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it was like that's been my game plan. Is with the exception of a couple of places later on that I don't want to be there. It's just everything sucks. It sucks to walk. It sucks to fight. There are a couple of places I'm not in love with, but I've really enjoyed the exploration factor in this game, and that's not something that everyone agrees upon. But it's been where my joy has come from.
No, I think this is probably the best one that they've created so far. It's very ease of access. It's not, but it's ease of access, but it's not easy. You do have to pay attention to everything.
Mhm.
And I mean, outside of like, I know there's some problems on PC, with like some micro stutter and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Here,
there
mine's
is.
pretty all right.
Um, yeah, we might as well get into this.
Optimization errors.
Yeah, we might as well get into this now. So, Elden Ring is not a perfect game.
Mm.
For being a game that is absolutely Game of the Year material, this game has some flaws, especially on the PC. I did not pick it up for PS5, but I hear PS4 and PS5 are the most stable ways to play at the moment. PC is not. The game is great, the concept is wonderful, the execution is shaky at times. Like I said, there has been some connectivity issues, at least through Steam, for me, and the stuttering has been bad. I do not have the most high-end PC in the world, but I do have a pretty high-end PC. It's only a Ryzen 5 3600, but it's also a 3070. I think I should be able to run it pretty solid.
Yeah.
And yet, I'm getting pretty hefty frame stuttering. I've had full-on freezing, and I've crashed out a couple of times. The crashing is rare. It's only happened twice in 50 hours. Or 40 hours, however many hours I have on this game at this point.
Time blends in together when you play in this game.
I have 51 hours. Yeah, in 51 hours, it's only crashed twice. But frame stuttering, especially for like the first 2 days, was constant. I don't know how I made it through this game. If this were most other games, I would have tore into this game for it. It is actually very bad. Like, this is kind of inexcusable that this is happening. And we're not talking about like it's going from 60 frames to 55, or it's just a hiccup here and there. No, these are noticeably huge drops that turns this into a momentary slideshow, which is, as you can imagine, not great when you're fighting something that's going to kill you in one or two hits.
Yeah. Which is almost everything in that game.
But what's weird is combat isn't the only place it happens. It's not like this is just, oh, there's too many effects happening on screen, we're gonna shit the bed. No, this happens literally when you're walking around and you look in certain areas. It just kind of tanks. Like, there's popping, and that's fine. It's an open world game. I don't care. But like taking 2 steps out of a door, turning around, and just having the whole game literally have a heart attack for a second or two. Yeah, it's real rough. I don't know how you fix that. I don't know what the issue even is, but that's far and away the most glaring issue with this right now.
I know the PS5 doesn't perfectly run at 60. There are obviously times where I get like all like the good clarity where everything runs at 60, but I think
those moments are great.
I think the game on PS5, because I'm playing PS5, I'm playing the PS5 version on PS5. Because Digital Foundry said if you want the most stable performance from Elden Ring, you will play the PS4 version on the PS5. Because for some reason the frames are just like that. Apparently, that will give you a I'm not sure what the differences are between PS4 and PS5. I assume it's probably just the way the graphics are.
I would agree. I'd say that's probably what it is.
But I'm playing on PS5, and there are times where it's sitting at where it sits at 60 for a little bit. But I can't say it goes under 50. I don't ever get like a massive like frame drop or anything. The most glaring thing I ever see is the grass pops in. Like the grass, the grass looks like it loads in like 12 minutes after the game.
Oh, 12. That's quite a bit. Like my grass also
not
will
that.
have...
I'm being exaggerating.
Yeah, but that tells me that there's actually a pretty sizable gap in between you loading in and then the assets. I think that's something that the PC does do better, because if I do run into that, which I don't often, it's pretty reasonable. I'll load in, and then like a second later, the grass will load in. It's very quick. Though on the concept of frames, I've not counted the frames, but I am also not at 60, not consistently, because there are those moments where I am, and it's very noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking on Torrent out of a cave once, and it hit that magical 60, where it was dark inside, light outside, and God rays, and it didn't even look real. Like this looked like how you fake a game presentation. And it was in that moment, I was like, oh, this is that moment. Like we're actually, this is next gen. Holy shit! But those moments are very few and far between. I'm probably somewhere in the very, very high 40s to low to mid 50s.
Yeah, that's
because it's not enough to look bad, and if after a while it feels correct, but it's not that crisp, fluid, impossibly buttery frame rate.
So, I mean, we could literally just talk about Elden Ring all night, or we could stop this and actually play Elden Ring all night.
Yeah, there's one more thing I want to say before this ends, though.
Yeah.
We have a lot of very nice things to say about it, and I would even go so far as to say, despite these awful things that I just mentioned, that horrible frame stutter and playing at this weird in-between frame rate, this game's amazing.
Yeah.
I still wholeheartedly think this is worthy of being Game of the Year. I don't know if another game will beat it out. A lot of people don't seem to think that, but this is definitely going to be on that list, without a doubt, and it deserves to be there. That said, especially with like the big content creators coming out and kind of like burning out on this real quick, if you do not like open world games, if you do not like games without an obvious go here, do this, or if you do not like terribly challenging games, this game, Elden Ring, will not change your mind on that.
Yep.
It is very accessible. Bleed and magic can trivialize some enemies, even a lot of enemies. But this is still a Soulsborne game. There will be moments where you feel like something is bullshit because you don't understand what's happening. This game's going to ask a lot of patience and time and learning from you. If you deeply hate the Soulsborne games from before, do not pick this game up.
Yep.
Or at least don't pick it up now. Like, wait till it's on sale, wait till you feel like no matter how bad the experience is for you personally, you will still get your money for it. This game is not going to turn you into a Soulsborne fan if you already have a negative outlook on it.
Agreed.
When we say it's accessible, there is no easy mode. There's just, you have so many options available to you. But there is no easy mode.
Yeah, no easy mode. No.
You still have to be good at the game to one degree or another.
Sometimes I wish there was, but there's not.
There's not, and I think it's incredibly important to say this, and I think I have a lot of respect for all the reviewers out now, but I think this is a very important thing that I haven't been hearing. Because I think this is the game that's going to turn a lot of people into Soulsborne fans. But it's still not for everyone.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
For a lot of people, this will be a game that they enjoy watching.
I enjoy both.
Yeah, same. I can't wait to beat this game so I can finally watch all my content, my favorite Soulsborne content creators speedrun it. I just thought that was super important to put out there so that people kind of, if you're listening to this, you understand that this is great. It's wonderful. It's the best in the series. But it's still part of that series. So you're still getting what you pay for. And what you're paying for is an ass kicking.
You're paying for masochism is what you're paying for.
It's true. It's absolutely true. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Do you have any questions?
No.
Hmm.
All right then.
I want to play. That's not a question though.
I want to play?
She wants to play Elden Ring, apparently.
Yeah. One day.
Soon even.
But yeah, so okay. It's gonna be obvious. All right.
Are you really gonna ask this question of me? Okay.
All right. But before I actually say what the obvious thing is, I forgot to shout out something that happened this week. All right.
Oh, go on then.
Because DOLLET actually mentioned this person. Sunny Legend being picked up by Gorilla.
Fuck yeah! Good on you, Bursky.
After freelancing for them for the past couple of months, they decided to hire him on as a full-time employee.
Two rights.
Congrats.
Yeah. That was good. I also want to say I feel really bad for Gorilla Games because this is the second game in the same series that they've put out that had to have a genre-defining game follow it within a week.
What was the Horizon? Oh, sorry, what was the
Wild?
Zero Dawn? Oh.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Both games are open world genre defying games, all right? And both Horizon games have had to deal with those games being released within like the same week.
Horizon's going to win a lot of awards. It's going to earn all of them. It's going to deserve all of them. But yeah, this is rough. Oh man.
I feel so bad. Like honestly, when Elden Ring put out their release date or whatever, if I was Gorilla, I'd have pushed Horizon back a little bit. I'd have done it a little bit. Give them some time.
Like, it's this weird thing, right? Where we know management wants a game out at a certain time so they can immediately start seeing profit, but it's weird. Do you really think you can compete with this game? This is what, 4 years of hype? Finally realized? And it's not that Horizon isn't a game that people look forward to. People were very excited about Horizon. People still are very excited about Horizon. I'm still excited about Horizon.
Yeah, I'm still excited about it. It's just Elden Ring.
But yeah, like there is a level of hype and competition that is not the same between the two. And reading the tea leaves, I mean, yeah, in a perfect world, I don't think these two get released within 6 months of each other.
No.
Pity we don't live in that perfect world.
No, pity we don't. And I'm just gonna feel bad because I think I think Forbidden West is gonna, like, for people are already stopping talking about Forbidden West because, you know, Elden Ring is just that, like, that relevant, that good.
Yeah. I think if anything, it should have released afterwards. Definitely. Well, hopefully, it doesn't hurt it too much. It's still going to get a lot of nods, and I look forward to seeing the devs get recognized.
Yeah. But yeah, so Elden Ring. Leek, what are you doing?
Well, since I don't have a deadline anymore, I'm probably gonna up my sub and finally play. Don't hold me to it though, because I'm gonna PC again. Yeah.
I feel like we've been through the song and dance.
We've been through the song and dance. There's an
You
encore
are
now.
currently in DOLLET?
Yeah, about to.
Okay. So I look forward to hearing back if you choose to play how you feel about that arc.
I will let you know. I am sure. Next time, same time, next week.
Hey, worst case scenario, we just get to hear more Swotar news, right?
Yeah.
True. This is true. But anyway, if you guys made it to the end of the show, please give us a like and subscribe. We definitely appreciate it. And we will see you, all you tarnished, in the lands between.
Bye. Fare thee well. Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely